Hello everyone and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments. This is intended to be video 1 of 2 for the day. I'm aiming to get you a second video later today, either going over a bunch of extra Nightmare decks or the current #1 list in the game. So make sure you keep an eye out for a second video coming right here on this channel later today, and tomorrow will be the top 10 decks. Right now, though, we've got three great decks for you. We've got the best Nightmare list from day one. We've got the Kid Omega list that is absolutely tearing up the meta, and I'm really frustrated by that. And we've got this Ika Miracle deck for those of you who aren't getting either of the new cards. Ika's Miracle deck has a 74% win rate through about 20 games, and then we upped it to about 40 games, and it maintained a 70+% win rate. This list is really strong into the meta right now. It's absolutely kind of crushing all of the Nightmare decks that are all over the place, thanks to Shang and Enchantress, thanks to Shadow King. It's really solid into the Nimrod stuff. If you're seeing a bunch of Kid Omega, very few people are, but if you're one of the few that are, this is a list that has an absolute crazy amount of power to it. You can find Ika, the best deck builder, the most prolific deck builder, Marvel Snap at twitch.tv/Ika_MTS. This deck needs Gwenpool, Hitmonkey, and Merlin. I want to say you can play it without Merlin, but the list gets way worse. Surge's only replacement 2 is a little rough. It's Jennifer Kale. Hopefully that's not too much of a barrier for many of you. All right, so Shadow King is here. There's a lot of scalers in the meta. Basically, the meta is scalers and big idiots, right? That's fundamentally how metas tend to go in Marvel Snap. Occasionally we get the energy cheaters, right? Like the Mr. Negative style decks will take over. But right now what we're seeing are a lot of scalers, a lot of cards that get bigger using scalers like Galacta, Silver Surfer, stuff like that. And we're seeing a lot of big idiots. Shadow King handles your scalers for you. Shang-Chi handles your big idiots. And should you end up into energy cheat, a lot of the energy cheat right now is doing ongoing stuff. And while you don't have Mobius, you have Enchantress for that problem. Surge, meanwhile, is a way to cheat energy. It's just really strong. Hitting Mysterio is absolutely great for Surge, but it will end your Mysterio chain, although you're not likely to play Mysterio before turn 5 anyway. Surge is just really strong. Getting Sarah on 4 or getting Shang or Enchantress to 3 to then be hit by Sarah are all worthwhile endeavors. Invisible Woman has 2 real uses, 3 real uses in the deck. So first and foremost, you can just play her on turn 2. She is the worst card to play on turn 2. That is not what you want to do. However, if you don't have Sarah on turn 5, she is an excellent play with either a cheaper Shang or Enchantress or a Killmonger as a way to make sure you're going to lose Prior on lane and get some stuff off. You can also hide a Hitmonkey behind her. Hiding Hitmonkey behind her means that every card you play on the last turn will count for that Hitmonkey when Monkey reveals. And then finally, you can use her just to, like, let's say you play Sarah on turn 5 and you still have priority, but you want to Shang-Chi or Enchantress. You can play Invisible Woman and Shang or Enchantress in whatever lane you want to get rid of a big card, making sure you're going to lose priority and thus win the game, making sure that your card will reveal last. Merlin has, again, several uses here. The extra location change is very important here. This deck does not like being limited on where it can play, and Merlin is very good at handling that. Merlin can also push used cards or no longer useful cards back in the deck. A used Killmonger or used Shadow King is not especially useful. Getting extra energy for them, basically turning giving yourself a Wiccan turn is a very powerful and useful ability to have. Of course, we also have the most important, the ability to make a card 1 bigger. That's really huge. Not only for the used Shadow Kings and Killmongers, but on the last turn, turning Sarah into a random 6-drop is very often game-winning. Mysterio has, again, 3 different uses in this deck. That's kind of the beauty here. Mysterio not only gives you 3 bodies, those 3 bodies will be +3 on Bishop, +6 on Hitmonkey, that's 2 uses, but if it's buffed by either Gwenpool or Surge, the buffs carry across the clones. All of that obviously makes Mysterio a potentially huge card. Bishop and Hitmonkey are where you get your points most of the time in this list. Bishop should be able to get to 9-10 points fairly regularly, sometimes even bigger, and Hitmonkey should be able to get to 10-11 points, sometimes even bigger. That is usually enough to win when you combine it with the control cards. Killmonger says, I don't want to lose to a bunch of ones. Nice and simple. Power must be controlled, ongoings must be controlled. We talked about Gwenpool's use, and of course Sarah is the most important card in any Sarah list, where getting stuff cheaper allows you to win the damn game. So this is a 70+% win rate in over 40 games. Turn 1, you're going to want to pass. Turn 2, Merlin equals Surge. Those are better than Invisible Woman. Surge can go over Merlin if you have, like, your Gwenpool still in hand and deck, you haven't drawn your Bishop yet, you haven't drawn your Sarah yet. If you've got a reasonably clear curve, you might want to get Merlin out. Turn 3, Bishop over Gwenpool over 2-drop. Turn 4, Gwenpool, and now if you can hit Mysterio or you hit good targets, you can snap on Gwenpool, but be careful of snapping before you see what she hits. Bishop or control card if you must. Your general and easiest snap condition is if they didn't play Mobius and you can play Sarah, and you've got Monkey, Mysterio, and a control card, you can usually snap. If not, you're going invisible into 3, Monker, Cheaper, Shang, Enchantress. And then turn 6, you're going to go Monkey, Mysterio, plus a control card, and remember to, if possible, make Sarah a 6-drop with Merlin. For anyone who's new here, we give you at least 3 brand new decks every single day. Most days we do 4. Some days we end up doing like 15 decks with full guides. So if you're enjoying these guides, that's awesome. There's color coding to this though. Yellow means regular play. Green means potential snap condition when the right situation happens. And white means strongly consider snapping before you play this most of the time. Cool. One last look at this deck before we ask you to hit that sub button. If you've enjoyed it and have watched this far, before we get to talking about Kid Omega and Nightmare, please hit that sub button. A like and a comment would also help the channel a lot as we do our very best to continue growing. We're doing our best to bring you the best and most consistent Marvel Snap content, and if you think that has value, please hit that sub. We are not giving away a Merlin this week because I can't figure out how to because they changed the damn shop, but we are giving away a PAX code, so if you want a PAX code with free exclusive stuff, I'll explain what that is later and how to win it. Kid Omega seems completely insane. Everyone I know who's got Kid Omega swears by him. They're telling me that this is an absolutely wildly powerful card. It is one of the stronger things to do right now in Marvel Snap. That seems like a problem because they priced it out of most people's range until the middle of July. This seems, for all the world to me, like a FOMO experiment. This is them experimenting on how much they can make us feel like we're missing a card and thus force us to spend actual money to get it. Kid Omega, however, right now, in at least the Nimrod shell, that's the only place I know anyone's tested it, does seem wild. In fact, the best deck right now is the problem deck. The problem being that Kid Omega is so rare right now, only very, very few people have him, and that makes this game feel more than ever like pay to win. That's not where I want Marvel Snap to live. I have and will continue to make Second Dinner aware of my feelings on this. If you feel the same, feel free to let me know in the comments. So this is a KM Best deck. It is an absolute monster. Kid Omega takes this absolutely over the top from making it a cute deck to an absolute terror. So you can find KM Best at twitch.tv/KMBestMS. He's also on YouTube at KM Best in a Snap. He'll have a video about this deck if you want the full guide from his mouth. This deck needs Kid Omega, Elixir, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Galacta. Those are non-negotiable cards. Iron Lad can be Crystal, Magic, or Deathlock, and Surge can be Zabu or one of the above cards. Alright. So what Kid Omega fundamentally allows you to do is he allows you to immediately destroy a played Nimrod. That Nimrod can be buffed immediately upon a play from Galacta, Shuri, or Symbiote, and then you've already started your destroy chain, and you've got an extra giant Kid Omega in the process. It doesn't matter where it's played. It's just nice and simple. You've got at least a 10 power Kid Omega at that point, plus you've got 2 Nimrods on the board. That's wild. The other thing that he does is he enables the Black Panther play pattern, well, the secondary Black Panther play pattern here, because you could also go, let's say, Galacta into Black Panther, right? That's going to leave you with a Black Panther that is, 8 power, 16 power. That Kid Omega gets that 16 power. It's immediately destroyed. Then you play Elixir, and you get a 32 power Black Panther in another location, and you still have energy to play a Symbiote Spider-Man, an Iron Lad, or whatever else you want. That's crazy, crazy powerful. There's a ton of stuff to do with Kid Omega in this list along those lines. There are Venom lines as well, where you can end up using Venom, and then you can eat that Venom, and then you've just got a stupidly big Kid Omega that way. There's just too many different ways to use Kid Omega and abuse Kid Omega with these cards. Carnage and Venom are your other destroy cards because you do want multiple ways to destroy Nimrod. If you don't get Kid Omega out early, he isn't activate. That can be a problem. So keep that in mind. Surge gives you a cheaper way to play. In particular, you're running 4 4s, so having 4 4s and 2 5s means you want Surge as a way to just sort of fill out your curve for occasional extra shenanigans when things go wrong. For example, if I guess whatever. You get the idea. I'm going to be like, you can play Galacta on 3. You know how this works, right? Elixir is here. Elixir's insane if you can get Kid Omega to destroy on 5, because you're only ever really destroying one thing with Kid Omega, right? You're destroying Black Panther or Nimrod. Elixir says, I've got another one of those. In Nimrod's case, I can now destroy it again, and it's pretty big. In Black Panther's case, it's going to trigger its on reveal again, and that's pretty damn insane, too. Venom is obviously the best destroy card outside of Kid Omega because it keeps the power. Carnage doesn't keep the power, but is cheaper and easier to fit into a curve. Shuri Galacta, Symbiote. Those are the cards you're trying to use to buff. If you use that on Black Panther, he's going to rebuff to be stupid power. Galacta is the smallest at 16. Uh, whatchamacallit. Black Panther will already be 10 and then go up to 17, so he'll become 34 with the single symbiote Spider-Man. That's a really good Arnim Zola target, by the way. Or you can end up Shuriing that Panther and just immediately having 20. But all of this is obviously very, very strong, especially if you can eat that power with Kid Omega and bring it back with the Elixir. Iron Lad is your extra shot at Black Panther and Nimrod largely. You're trying to use it when you don't see Panther and Nimrod to give you an extra shot at seeing it before it's too late. And then, of course, we have Zola. Zola's power here is fundamentally to hit that Panther, hit that Nimrod, make them really huge. There are times when you're not going to be like super sad to hit a really, really big Kid Omega either, right? Let's say you ended up with destroying that 30 power Black Panther, you don't draw Elixir, just Zola the Kid Omega, and you'll be fine. He keeps its power. So by the numbers right now, this is the best current deck. It's at a 69% win rate in 120 games. That's a really big sample for a 69% win rate. I think this is just a nightmare of a deck. Outside of getting a Red Guardian on the Kid Omega, outside of getting really lucky with Shadow Kings, I'm not sure what you do about this. This one seems like it might be a problem long term. Turn 1, we pass. Turn 2, Omega over Surge. Turn 3 is the same as 2. You'll drop a Galacta or Symbiote early. Turn 4, Galacta, Symbiote, or Shuri over Lad. Turn 5, Nimrod and Trigger Omega over Panther and Trigger Omega. At this point, you're snapping. If you got the Nimrod combo or the Panther combo, you should have snapped. Turn 6, if Nimrod, you want to destroy it twice more, or Zola it. Panther, you can Zola it, or if destroyed, you can use Elixir and then still play another 4-drop. This is disgusting. I don't love that they made their first. Like, I don't consider most season pass cards pay to win, right? I think there's at least some argument that like the strongest of the season pass cards are pay to win. This feels like a whole different level. Those are like pay $10, consider this a subscription model. That's something I'm ultimately okay with. Them doing this with Kid Omega, and yes, you can grind the crap out of this mode and make Kid Omega like a $10, $15 purchase. But now you're still a month behind all the people who just spend the money. I don't like this design decision. I really, really am frustrated by it. And again, I will make Second Dinner aware of it. If you'd like to sound off, please do. Hey, come check out a stream. I should be streaming tonight at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. We've got a podcast. We got Cougar and Roram coming on. Cougar, one of the best players and deck builders of the game. Roram, the winner of the second ever Golden Gauntlet. So come by and hear these great, great players talk about Marvel Snap. I think we'll do top 10 cards in Marvel Snap. That seems like a really fun place to go for this. So our season pass question is very simple, and if I can figure out how to give a season pass, I am going to give an extra season pass on this video. I wanted to put this toward the end of the video to reward the most loyal of you. So should I get a Kid Omega? Should I suck it up and buy Kid Omega so that I can test it, so that I can tell all of you? What do you think? I'm literally going to take a vote, and whatever that vote says, yeah, make sure your answer says yes or no, please, as you're answering this, so I can run a little script to count that vote. But if you guys say I should buy Kid Omega, I'll suck it up, spend the money, and buy Kid Omega. My current stance is, even though it might be the best thing, I'm extremely frustrated with their processes and willing to skip it. But if you guys want the extra content, I'm willing to, you guys, gals, non-binary pals, let's be perfectly clear, using guys as a fairly non-gender term. But if you would prefer I get and play Kid Omega so that you have the information, so that you have the details, if you even just want to live vicariously through me having Kid Omega, any of that is totally fine. I can respect that. And I'm a content creator, right? I know what I signed up for. So let me know if you think I should get Kid Omega. If you would like a PAX code, what you have to do is follow me on youtube.com/@comicbookclick. That is a channel some of my friends run. They do some really great comic book podcasts. I made a video previewing Nightmare there. All you have to do is watch that in comments in order to enter to an PAX code. A PAX code is an exclusive code you can only get at the convention PAX, PAX. It comes with 3 things. It comes with a card back that's exclusive, a exclusive Miles Morales variant, and an exclusive border. So if you want that, head over there. See you tonight on stream. Nightmare has been very good. Nightmare is the kind of card I absolutely hate. It makes so you know that they're going to drop a ton of power after they play Nightmare, but it's also like you don't know what that power is going to do. It's going to have any ability. I've gotten yes, I've seen the Infinite Galactus, but I've also seen a Red Skull that's a White Tiger. There's just all sorts of completely silly stuff. The 5-drop seemed really, really wild with Nightmare. Nightmare is an excellent, excellent, and powerful card. I'm convinced that this is very likely to be a tournament monster. It's so hard to stay when an opponent snaps you and plays Nightmare that it's completely wild. This card is very good. The best Nightmare deck so far, fortunately / unfortunately, is one of those we featured in that video on the other channel. It's one card different. This is Den's Nightmare Black Knight. This has been the best Nightmare list so far. I just took it and immediately got an easy gold ticket with it right before recording. This one is kind of a monster. It is very strong, and it's got like 3 different ways to beat opponents about the head. If you're curious about Den, Den is the head writer at Marvel Snap Zone, the best place for written content in Marvel Snap, although we also love our friends at SnapFan. Den is the head writer. He's extremely prolific and brilliant. He came up with this list. This deck does need the 3 high series cards, but hey, at least it's only 3. Black Knight, War Machine, and Nightmare. So Black Knight is here. You're running 2 discard outlets. You're perfectly happy to get an Infinity Shard. You're happy for a 420, a 416, or a 414, right? So that's what Black Knight offers you. Yes, you do have to be careful with when you play Nightmare, but you should be totally fine. Black Knight's package is the following. It is Blade. Blade helps you discard one of the cards, obviously. Lady Sif, you only have 2 discard outlets, so be careful with them. The other thing that Blade works with here is Ghost Rider. You blade off the card, you get it back, particularly the Infinite or Giganto. You don't always want to get back the Red Skull unless it's been hit by Sauron or Nightmare, but you can get those cards back with Ghost Rider, which gives you basically allows you to double dip. You now have the Shard and the big Ghost Rider card. The other, well, there's, I guess, several more packages. The other main thing that you have that really helps here is War Machine is absolutely incredible. War Machine lets you just cold play an Infinite or Giganto wherever, whenever. It lets you play Ebony Maw late in the game. It's a really good card. It does have anti-synergy with Sauron. You're going to have to be careful with that, especially if you have War Machine. If you have War Machine in deck and you have Infinite in deck, be a little careful with your Sauron. But hey, it works perfectly fine. You do want to be able to play a 1/7 and a 6/20 or 6/16 wherever you want. Sauron does, however, help with both Lizard and Red Skull in a major way. Lizard not having a negative ability, Red Skull not having a negative ability, those become 2 of the better cards in the game. Sorry, Ebony Maw 2, becoming a 1/7. Those are 3 of the better statted cards in the game. And then, of course, the last card we really have to talk about is Nightmare. Nightmare has a ton of good targets, but everything's not a good target, so keep that in mind. You want to hit Ebony Maw, Lizard, Red Skull, Giganto, and Infinite. Any of those are awesome. I got a Gwenpool off a War Machine that won me a round earlier, though, so like don't hesitate. I think you're going to get a lot of really powerful stuff from it. I want Merlin in this deck over Lizard really badly, but I can't quite bring myself to do it because Merlin and Black Knight worry me just a little bit in terms of synergy, but I do... Merlin has proven really good with Nightmare 2 to turn him into a 4-drop. It's a very powerful thing to do. But overall, this list has been absolutely like crushing at a 56% win rate. A 64% win rate in 56 games. So turn 1 Black. Oh, I didn't tell you what to snap on. Turn 1 Black Knight equals to Sauron. You're snapping on whenever you have one of your big cards cheap. If you have a Black Knight combo and you don't think your opponent can stop it, you snap. If you have Nightmare with the right cards in hand, you can snap. And if you have Sauron and all your good targets in deck, you can snap. Cool. So Black Knight equals Sauron on 1, depends on what your hand is. If you have a discard outlet, obviously, you can go with Sauron, you can go with Black Knight, and if you have all your ongoings in deck, you can go with Sauron. Turn 2 is a 1 over a Lizard, nice and simple. Oh, you can drop Ebony Maw early if you are sure for some reason you're not going to Nightmare, and if you already have War Machine, otherwise don't. Turn 2, you want to get 1-drops out. They're very important over Lizard. Turn 3, Lady Sif or Nightmare. Lady Sif if you have Black Knight. Nightmare sort of if not and you have good targets. Turn 4, War Machine or Ghost Rider / Shard. Turn 5 is the same thing as 4, basically. You also can play Red Skull if you Nightmared it or Sauroned it. Sometimes you're just going to have to play Red Skull anyway. You'll be fine. Try and pick a lane that you don't think your opponent's going to play a lot of cards in. And then turn 6, Shard, Rider, Giganto, some combination thereof, whichever you can play, and win. Sometimes you can even just drop an Infinite that's a Galactus and win. Sorry about featuring the same deck again, but I wanted to make sure I featured it on this channel since our day 1 preview deck has proven to be the best in the game. Remember that our weekly preview decks are going to be over on Comic Book Click, QUE for Click, from now on. So if you're interested in those, please do me a favor. Make sure you head over there. We're trying to help our friends grow that channel. We're going to make something big and cool over there, and we want you a part of it from day 1. Y'all good? That's the end of the Nightmare Black Knight list. On to the questions of the day. Query asks, should Legion have a way to scam on any location? There's the 4-5-6 can't be played location, but I guess you could somehow cheat him with Elysium or something. But then you'd run foul of the 1-2-3. Could Legion have his power or cost both dropped and add a Jeff-like wording to make it more versatile? No, please don't do that. Legion is one of the best cards in the game. It's especially one of the best conquest and tournament cards in the game. Every time we have a tournament, we see Legion rise. We see Legion win games that couldn't otherwise be won. I think Legion is exactly good enough. He's one of the best designed cards ever in Marvel Snap. He's one of my favorite cards ever in Marvel Snap, partially because, and this is totally, I've been wrong plenty of times. I thought, whatchamacallit, I thought Bullseye would be terrible. So I'm wrong plenty of times, but everyone thought Legion was going to be a meme card, and I went on the record as like Legion's going to be incredible, Legion's incredible, and Legion's incredible. I think he's exactly good enough. He lost one power. I think he could potentially be a 5/8. I'd be fine with that, but I don't think like anything else really needs to change about him. I think as a 5/7, he's totally fine. He's again one of the best 5 drops in the game and one of the best tournament/conquest cards in all of Marvel Snap. Leave him as is. Enjoy him. He's wonderful. Certain tier support on our Patreon. Come with on our thanks. I'm going to say thank you to our Patreons quickly and then leave you to your day. I will again hopefully be back later today. I can't swear to it. It is Juneteenth. By the way, happy frickin' Juneteenth. Make sure you check out our friend Super Tech God or the Power On stream tonight, where I believe they're hosting their Power On tournament. I didn't check with them before I recorded this. I should have, but that should be happening tonight, so make sure you check that out. But today is Juneteenth. Assuming that I can get things with my son sorted, there will be a second video later today. If not, then I will just put extra love and care into the Friday video, I promise. So just, keep your eye out. All right, thank you to Bricks2Click, our patron of the month. We are going to do a second stream abrasion coming soon. Be warned. Abigail Giesland, mandatory burnout. It regardless. Always kind. LAB Inc. I am Frostman. Hota Navarrete, Primed Ryan, Ryan Burke, and Ryan Wood Snap. Ren Wrench, Kertixley, Koire, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Pyrofrost, The Goat Seeker, Code, Hollowed, Only Fox, Synth Fat Dick, Absolute Shannon, Nightmare, Dirty Casual, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philip Brackbitch, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Bizza, Black Jeebus 23, Extras V and Skippy G, Jessica Campbell, Mr. Slush Death, The King of Bros, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Steve-O131, thank you to our newest friend, Kev Sihora, Clam, Colonel Forbin, Rob Subman, David G. Wingfield, Steven, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason Butt, Craig Sterry, Matt The, Corey, Corwin, Chunk U, Jim McQ, Q Down, You Stout, A Sage, One Big Man, Milkman for Reals, Cactus, thank you for the kind words, Reitzer, Yo Marco, Quid Pro Joe, Snap Decisions Joe, D Carlo 220, Models Mod Supreme, Pickety Boom Bot, Models, I got your question, I'm on it for tomorrow, Pickety Boom Bot, or second video, one of the two, Green Goblin, Unibot V2, Flan 56, The Fuzzy Lump, Spectrum Mix, Hoot, Ocularis, Matt H, DJ, Mikey Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Nick the Greek Geek, Toxic Soul King, Zadruk 74, The King of Canada, JJ, Denman Falcon, Newman, it's Father Newman, Jonesy Snapped, Two Ties, The Great Lord Evs, The Pirate King Tucker, and of course Gunny T, where the T stands for Toodles. I'll see you hopefully later today. Thanks and for watching this whole video. Appreciate you. Peace.